easily achieved through the chanting of the Lord's holy name. And then finally he says the Sankirtan movement we have started offers the best process for becoming purified of all sinful reactions and coming immediately to the platform of spiritual life. Prabhupada is glorifying how the holy name is very important. Even reading up to this point, we should think how we should be chanting, no? Right? Right? Instead of just not giving the time or the effort in chanting properly. So therefore this should be, burned in our consciousness. Otherwise, we can't save ourselves, so how can you save others? Yeah. Then it all just becomes a routine or show only. So we should be serious with our practice so our people know this is tangible. It will make sense to them. Oh, these people are serious, they are doing it. So now they want to help me also like that. Text 12.
Naikantikam tadhi krite api nishkrite mana punardhavati cheda satpate tad karma nirharama abhipapsitam hare gunanuvada khalu sattva bhavanaha.
The ritualistic ceremonies of atonement recommended in the religious scriptures are insufficient to cleanse the heart absolutely, because after atonement one's mind again runs toward material activities. Consequently, for one who wants liberation from the fruitive reactions of material activities, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra of glorification of the name, fame and pastimes of the Lord is recommended as the most perfect process of atonement, because such chanting eradicates the dirt from one's heart completely. So it's already stated here. Simply chanting nicely, glorifying the Lord. Again in the 5th canto, Rishabdev spoke to his son. So the last paragraph, Prabhupada writes, therefore Srimad Bhagavatam says, Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam sudyat. One must perform tapasya, austerity, to purify his existence in order to come to spiritual platform. This tapasya and austerity is chanting, glorifying the name of the Lord, His fame, attributes, doing things for Him, preaching on His behalf, glorifying, speaking about the Lord. All these are our austerities we are supposed to perform. And when we do that for the Lord, when you do that, then Prabhupada says it's very easy and purifying process, easy purifying process by which everyone can be happy. Because when you do it for the Lord, it becomes selfless. When you do it for your own, then it becomes selfish. And when you become selfish, it becomes problematic for everybody. So therefore, preaching is to be done for the Lord. Everyone should just do it for the Lord. Not that I'm doing it, I'm the leader, there must be a leader for sure, but still, you cannot covet that position. Otherwise you will have situation. So Prabhupada continues, therefore everyone who desires the ultimate cleansing of his heart must adopt this process. Other processes such as karma, jnana and yoga cannot cleanse the heart absolutely. So what are you going to do about it? Right? These are things you all have to think carefully. It's one thing to read and say, it's another thing to put to practice. Tapasya, austerity, penance, how much to do, how to do, when to do, why we have to do. Text 13.
As you said, chanting is both the means and the end.
Yeah, of course. But still to chant also you must practice austerity, no? It is part of the austerity, because we want to only talk so many things, right? So it becomes so difficult when someone tells us to chant. So that is the reason why he said also preaching is also austerity. Text 13.
Atainam mapanayate
Atainam mapanayata
krita seshagha nishkritam
Daseshāga niskritam
yat asau bhagavan nama
Yataso Bhagavan Nama
mriyamanaha samagrahit.
Priyamanaha Samagrahi. At the time of death, this Ajamila helplessly and very loudly chanted the holy name of the Lord Narayana. That chanting alone has already freed him from the reactions of all sinful life. Therefore, servants of Yamaraja, do not try to take him to your master for punishment in hellish conditions. So the Vishnu Dutas, Prabhupada says, who are superior authorities, gave orders to the Yamadutas, who did not know that Ajamila was no longer subject to tribulations. You can take a chair.
No, Prabhu, I understand.
Was no longer subject to tribulation in hellish life for his past sins, because he chanted one time only. You need to chant purely and that's it.
Helplessly.
Yeah, everything is purified just one time. Of course, in the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada quotes also, one must be eradicated of sinful life also, to also be able to do devotional service. So, in a sense, Ajamil has already chanted Narayana so many times, he's already purified. And so finally he chanting one last time he's doing devotional service like that. Yeah. Yesham tu antagata papam jananam punya karmanam te dvanda moho vinirmukta bhajanti mam drida vrataha. So such a person, drida vrataha, bhajanti mam. So they can worship the Lord with firm determination, strong determination, not in illusion. Yeah, that service is done with a reason behind it, a proper understanding behind it. So similarly, we all have to have the proper conclusions in our efforts to chant also. That why I'm chanting, why I'm doing my sadhana practice, why I became a devotee. That must be there. Otherwise, we are always in moha. It's not stopped. That moha, the illusion is always there. Yeah. Okay. Unless we are out of this situation, you cannot be doing devotional service. You can't do devotional service, so to speak. Which is what Prabhupada's point is. And then what is the point in even saying, I'll remember Krishna at the time of death? You can't. Because you have so many other things, agendas to worry about. Right? Just like the two guys in the boat who were fighting stone and scissors like that. So when they were both drowning, they were still fighting, but they're not thinking of Krishna. Right? The intention was to win. Selfless. They weren't selfless or any other situation. The whole intention, I must be better than the other guy. That is what sinful life does. Impious activity creates that kind of mentality, self-centered mentality. So we have to be very careful.
I get this one story.
Yeah.
So people are traveling in the local train in Bombay. So usually crowded, right?
Yeah.
So they are fighting for that one seat. So it's mine like that. And then they are fighting. Even their staff came, still they forgot to continue.
Yeah. Mind is not focused. Yeah. Foolish.
Even to their destination came, they forgot, still they were continuing to fight.
I was once going to this place. The last station is Churchgate. So from there actually the train starts. So my train was reaching to Churchgate. So I wanted to get down. And I just got up. And then one person, he pulled my hand and he said, sit. Said, I have to get down this last station. He said, no, sit. I didn't understand. And in seconds, Prabhu, hundreds of people went in.
Wow.
He was trying to protect me.
Yeah.
He said, if you go there, you will be like
Crushed.
He just hold my hand and he says, I really didn't understand.
You passed on finally or no?
Huh?
Yeah, you can say.
No, he said, Then he said, well, everybody sits, then you can.
You can get so you can see Krishna protected you.
Yeah, because they are looking for seat, right?
Right, yeah.
That's what happens if you travel in train unreserved also. Oh, Krishna, it is like.
Okay, text 14.
Sorry to stop the train. Now train is going on.
Yeah, but it's fighting.
Yeah.
Sanketyam parihasyam va.
Sanketyam parihasyam va.
Stobam helanameva va.
Sobam helanameva va.
Vaikuntanama grahanam.
Vaikuntanama grahanam.
Aseshagaharam viduhu.
Aseshagaharam viduhu. One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins. Even if he chants indirectly to indicate something else, jokingly, for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. So you just see how powerful the holy name is. The reason why we don't seem to get the result is because we are somehow offensive. Yeah. Text 15.
Patitas kalito bhagnaha.
Yeah.
Sorry, Prabhu. So Mahatma Gandhi also, will that be considered offensive chanting? Because I heard that Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said that it's like a dog barking, for him.
Mahatma Gandhi, I don't know whether he chanted now. Some people
At
say he
the
never
time
chanted.
of death, he said,
Chanting
Hey Ram,
Ram's
Hey Ram.
Yeah, it's a made up. People are saying like that.
Yeah, some people say he was all made up.
All made up?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. Huh?
Could be possible.
Anyway,
People who were there.
Nobody was
We
there.
don't
So we
have
don't know.
Yeah.
person
Only
was
Krishna
with
knows.
him at this point of time to confirm.
Only
people-
Krishna knows.
so anyway, I've heard also a conversation where Prabhupada said he was born as British, as Charles, Prince Charles.
Oh, later, after he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is. Disclaimer.
The current guy?
Didn't go
Huh?
back.
The current
The
prince?
current Charles, the old guy, yeah.
Nehru is a dog in
There's a
Sweden.
dog
Yes,
in
Prabhupada said
Sweden.
Nehru is dog in Switzerland, yeah.
Switzerland is Sweden.
Sweden or Switzerland,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Because he was after the governor's wife.
Lord Mountbatten.
Yes,
So
so
then who is
I don't know.
Diana?
Huh?
Diana.
No, the Prabhupada wasn't here. No? What are you talking about?
Boy, she's gone bro already.
Okay. 15.
Patitas kalito bhagnaha.
Patitas kalito bhagnaha.
Sandastastapta ahataha. Harir ityavesharaha. Manarhati yatanaha.
If one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from the top of a house, slipping and suffering broken bones while traveling on the road, being bitten by a serpent, being afflicted with pain and high fever, or being injured by a weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life even though he is sinful. Okay, if they are not offensive, then it works. When you are questioned. So you don't know about Gandhi. Maybe he was offensive. Text 16.
Gurunam cha laghunam cha.
Gurunam cha laghunam cha.
Guruni cha laghuni cha.
Guruni cha laghuni cha.
Prayaschittani papanam.
Prayaschittani papanam.
Natvoktani tani maharshibhihi.
Natvoktani maharshibhihi.
Authorities who are learned scholars and sages have carefully ascertained that one should atone for the heaviest sins by undergoing a heavy process of atonement, and one should atone for lighter sins by undergoing lighter atonement. Chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, however, vanquishes all the effects of sinful activities, regardless of whether heavy or light. Then Prabhupada gives a story about Krishna pastime, about Samba and all. The whole idea Prabhupada wants us to understand is, no matter how sinful we are, if we take to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna, Balaram or Narayana, they will protect us. Yeah. Text 17.
Taistanyagani puyante
Taistanyagani puyante
tapodana vratadibihi na dharmajam tadhrudayam tat api sangri sevaya.
Although one may neutralize the reactions of sinful life through austerity, charity, vows and other such methods, these pious activities cannot uproot the material desires in one's heart. However, if one serves the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, he is immediately free from all such contaminations. So material desires you cannot get rid of it doing any other activities. Only activity that can get rid of it is devotional service, spiritual activities. Okay, so bear that in mind. You cannot say I'm going to do some charity in India, I'm going to build this or that. It doesn't work. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.42, Bhakti Parishanubhava Virakti Anyatra Cha. Devotional service is so powerful. The one who performs devotional service is immediately freed from all sinful desires. So when you are doing it, at that moment, when you are focused, you are free. But after you come out, your mind is again wandering because you are not focused. Then you create more sinful desires or other foolish desires. Yeah. Couple of lines after that, Prabhupada says, one who is situated in devotional service no longer has material desires. Right? When you are focused doing devotional service, you are not thinking of anything material. If you are, then you are not doing devotional service. And one who is focused 100%, he has no more sinful life. That's the difference. Our problem is we are doing nicely, then we have a break of sinful life, then devotional, like that, that's what we are doing. So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning. So his point, Prabhupada says in the last couple of sentences, he says, material desire should be completely stopped. Otherwise, although one's austerities, penances and charity may free one from sin, for the time being one's desires will reappear because his heart is impure. Thus he will act sinfully and suffer. So that means even though you know what is right and wrong, if it sufficiently increases and increases, you will do the wrong thing. Without control, you cannot control it. So therefore it's very dangerous. So better to always do devotional service. Somehow or other your life you should plan from now to retire at the age of 50. Not at 88. Right?
You will not get second chance.
You won't get second chance. We know already. This is our second or 100 or millionth chance.
This Prabhu is already planning now.
Right. So plan ahead, like 50, 60, around there. Get ready to quit and go and chant and Prabhupada says you can even go to Mayapur. We have a big temple. Go there and chant. You don't even have to do anything else. Yeah, he says like that. Text 18.
About home.
Many
devotees are about home.
Doesn't matter.
So
yeah.
But then there is also said that if you go to Mayapur again, Dhamma Aparads and all those things will come into play and so on.
Anyway, of course, if you think of, I'm going to do the aparad, I might as well be in hell. That's what you're saying, Rather you should think I'll go there and try and do some service. Yeah. It is true though, if you are not trained properly, you cannot go to the town.
There is no service, you should not.
Yeah. Unless you have some tangible things to do there, you will feel bored and then your mouth will not stop boring. Yeah. Okay, text 18.
Jnanad atava jnanad Uttama shloka namaya Sankirtitam agam pumso Dahededo yatanalaha.
As a fire burns dry grass to ashes, so the holy name of the Lord, whether chanted knowingly or unknowingly, burns to ashes without fail all the reactions of one's sinful activities. Right? Very straightforward. Text 19.
Yatagadam viryatamam Upayuktam yadrichaya Janato apyatma atmagunam Puryan mantro api udahritaha.
If a person unaware of the effective potency of a certain medicine takes that medicine or is forced to take it, it will act even without his knowledge, because its potency does not depend on the patient's understanding. Similarly, even though one does not know the value of chanting the holy name of the Lord, if one chants knowingly or unknowingly, the chanting will be very effective. So the Prabhupada writes, in the Western countries where the Hare Krishna movement is spreading, learned scholars and other thoughtful men are realizing its effectiveness. For example, Dr. J. Stilson Judah, a learned scholar, has been very much attracted to this movement because he has actually seen that it is turning hippies addicted to drugs into pure Vaishnavas who voluntarily become servants of Krishna and humanity. And then a couple of lines down, Prabhupada says, this is practical proof of the effectiveness of the Hare Krishna movement, which is supported in this verse. So it works. It works. We cannot say it doesn't work. It works. A lot of us have changed from what we were and what we are now. That means it's working. It's only a question of time before we all become pure devotees. Text 20.
Sri Shukra Uvacha.
Okay.
Sri Shukra Uvacha Ta evam suvinirniya Dharmam Bhagavatam Nripa Tam Yamya Pasha Nirmuchya Vipram Mrityor Amucham.
Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, having thus perfectly judged the principles of devotional service with reasoning and arguments, the order carriers of Lord Vishnu released the Brahmana Ajamila from the bondage of the Yamadutas and saved him from imminent death. Wow. So they just freed him. The Yamadutas were just standing stunned, don't know what to do. Text 21.
Iti pratyuditayamya Dutayatva yamantikam Yamaragne yatha sarvam Achachakshur arindama.
My dear Maharaj Parikshit, O subduer of all enemies, after the servants of Yamaraja had been answered by the order carriers of Lord Vishnu, they went to Yamaraja and explained to him everything that had happened. So they were like complaining, They were very unhappy because they couldn't get him. Text 22.
Vijapashad vinirmukto Gadavi prakritim gataha Bhavande shirasa Vishnoho Kinkaran darshanotsavaha.
Having been released from the nooses of Yamaraja's servants, the Brahmana Ajamila, now free from fear, came to his senses and immediately offered obeisances to the Vishnu Dutas by bowing his head at their lotus feet. He was extremely pleased by their presence, for he had seen them save his life from the hands of the servants of Yamaraja. So Prabhupada says Vaishnavas are also Vishnu Dutas because they carry out the orders of Krishna. So when you go and save so many Ajamilas in this world, that's Prabhupada's point, Text 23.
Tam vivakshum abhipretya Mahapurusha kinkaraha Sahasa pashyatastasya Tatrantardadire anaga.
O sinless Maharaj Parikshit, the order carriers of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Vishnu Dutas, saw that Ajamila was attempting to say something, and thus they suddenly disappeared from his presence. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes us from the Shastra, doesn't say from where. For persons who are pishta, very sinful, and durachara, misbehaved or very unclean in their habits, who are against the existence of God, who disrespect Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, and who eat anything and everything, untimely death is sure. It is said that in Kali Yuga one has a maximum lifetime of 100 years, but as people become degraded, the duration of their lives decreases. Payenalpayushaha. Because Ajamila was now free from all sinful reactions, his lifetime was extended. Remember, he was about to die, even though he was to have died immediately. When the Vishnu Dutas saw Ajamila trying to say something to them, they disappeared to give him a chance to glorify the Supreme Lord. Since all his sinful reactions had been vanquished, he was now prepared to glorify the Lord. Also, the last line, the last paragraph, Prabhupada writes, to increase his eagerness to glorify the Lord, they disappeared so that he would feel separation in their absence. In the mood of separation, glorification of the Lord is very intense. So that is why they disappeared, to help him have that intensity. Just like Narada Muni in the first canto, right? Krishna showed his form and disappeared. So he was hankering. So whatever final remnants of material things there will be purified. So the same thing for Jamila also. They were trying to help him. Text 24-25.
Jamilo api athakarnya Dutanam yama Krishna yoho Dharmam Bhagavatam Shuddham Traivedyam cha gunashrayam Bhaktiman Bhagavatyashu Mahatmya Shravanadarehe Anutapo Mahanasi Smarato Ashubhamatmanaha.
After hearing the discourses between the Yamadutas and Vishnu Dutas, Ajamila could understand the religious principles that act under the three modes of material nature. These principles are mentioned in the three Vedas. He could also understand the transcendental religious principles which are above the modes of material nature and which concern the relationship between the living being and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Furthermore, Ajamila heard glorification of the name, fame, qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He thus became a perfectly pure devotee. He could then remember his past sinful activities which he greatly regretted having performed. So this happens, once you become more and more pure, you will see yourself as very fallen, which you read in the Acharya's songs, and because they really feel it. Not that they are jokingly writing just for us, no, they feel it. So Ajamil is now feeling it. So in the last paragraph, in the middle of last paragraph, Prabhupada says, people generally think that religion should be pursued for material profit, right? A lot of people think like that. This may be suitable for persons interested in material life, but one who is interested in spiritual life should be attached to Paro Dharma, the religious principles by which one becomes a devotee of the Supreme Lord. Yato Bhaktir Adoksaje. Right? So, again, it's for us to consider why I am doing this bhakti process. Unless we keep thinking like that, we will not do it as Paro Dharma. We will do it as material. We will go for material things, yeah, you will. Because material energy will cover you and you think you are spiritual. So it's very important not to get this trapped in this situation. Huh?
Becomes Kaitava Dharma.
Yeah, becomes Kaitava Dharma. We can kick it out. So, think carefully. It's not just Prabhupada writing just for, because he wants to fill the page up or whatever. You can see oftentimes he quotes the same thing and so on. So that he's trying his best to enter our hearts.
Remind.
To soften our hard-heartedness in wanting to practice seriously. Yeah, this is compassion. This is real compassion.
Repeating like it to child.
It is very important. I'm trying to emphasize this. So think carefully, because it's not like we all initiated. It's so great. Yeah, it's great. But it's not enough. Yeah. So it's not like lassoing people and then I got so many people initiated. No, how many of them are going back to God here? Then you can say I got a good score. Otherwise it's just just a numbers game. We are not here for numbers. Prabhupada said one moon is better than so many stars. Yeah. So that means take it up seriously, then you will find that your life will make more sense. And then when you help others, ahitukya pratihata yayadme suprasiddha. So they will feel it and you will feel it also. Like that.
Prabhupada also says if even one person becomes a pure devotee, our mission is successful.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Prabhupada humbly said that.
Yeah, he said. We know that Prabhupada's movement is perfect because there's so many devotees gone back to Godhead. We know that for a fact. Yeah? Either they tell us directly or by the way they have behaved, they have gone back to Godhead. So anyway, in the last couple of lines, Prabhupada says when one is situated on the platform of devotional service, one is freed from impediments and completely satisfied. That means either the impediments don't occur or you don't see anything as impediments, or the Lord Himself comes and makes sure there's no impediments. And you are always satisfied, right? Having been elevated to that platform, Ajamila began to lament for his past materialistic activities and glorify the name, fame, form and pastime of the Supreme Personality of God. So, another thing you need to know is Ajamil is lamenting for his past activities. So, similarly, you all have to think about your past life also and lament that why I did this, why I'm such a rascal. So, that attitude when you develop, you will become also humble. Because otherwise you think you are better than the average Joe out there. You think, I'm a devotee, he's not. No, just imagine what you were before. Maybe worse than the average Joe. Text 26.
Aho me paramam kashtam.
Aho me paramam kashtam.
Abhud avijatmanah.
Abhud
Avijitatmanah.
Abhud avijitatmanah.
Abhud avijitatmanah.
Yena viplavitam brahma.
Yena viplavitam brahma.
Vishalyam jayatatmanah.
Vishalyam jayatatmanah.
Ajamila said, alas, being a servant of my senses, how degraded I became. I fell down from my position as a duly qualified Brahmana and begot children in the womb of a prostitute. So he's thinking bad about himself. Not that he's thinking the prostitute is bad. So there's a difference.
He's repenting.
Yeah, he's taking responsibility for his mistake. He's seeing himself as such a horrible person.
He's repenting.
Yeah. So in any case, Prabhupada talks about how in the higher caste people are chosen to marry, so that the next generation of children are of a higher grade. So then he says how astrology is used to ensure the boy and girl have a good compatibility, basically. But it's not everything, okay? Right? You can use it to assist, but not use it for everything. Okay? The astrology is just for a
tool.
It's a tool only, yeah. Okay, so but because why but then Prabhupada at the end says, of course this is Trigunya, a material calculation according to the Vedas, but if the boy and girl are devotees, there need be no such consideration. So you don't have to worry. Right? We don't look at the If the girl is very good and the boy is from another family, you don't do all this, you don't do that, he says. A devotee is transcendental. And therefore in a marriage between devotees, the boy and girl form a very happy combination. Now this is reality, but it didn't work out like that in the early days, because the men, many of the men were not qualified or what, they abused the women also like that. So we have a bad history.
Proper training.
Yeah. Because of lack of training, lack of understanding, not reading, not chanting, not following regulative principles. Yeah. Huh?
Lack of surrender.
Lack of surrender.
Prabhu, I have one thing coming in my mind. We have read about Anuloma and Pratiloma, right? When a woman married, like a Kshatriya woman married a Brahmana. And I'm thinking about Sutta Goswami, Roma Harshana Suttas. Now, they were devotees, right? Maybe not Roma Harshana Sutta, but now Prabhupada is here saying that the devotees, they don't have to consider about this.
Yeah.
But when Roma Harshana Sutta was killed by Lord Balrama, then it was said that he was a Pratiloma kid. That is why that happened.
Meaning?
Meaning now I'm thinking earlier, maybe Roma Harshana Sutta was not a devotee. I'm just thinking and...
He was offensive to Lord Balaram.
To Lord Balaram.
And so therefore when someone's sitting on there, Vyasa's son, Prabhupada writes, I remember, right? And he was not being respectful. When someone, you also have to know, Maryada Vyatikarana should be practiced, which means someone superior comes, you should get off the Vyasa's son and give them the seat. But in his case, he was acting superior to Lord Balaram. Not only that, he was trying to ridicule Balaram by showing his teeth and smiling at him.
Even Roma Harshana Sutta?
I think he is the one who was doing it when he got killed, no?
Yeah.
Sutta means he was in
God
son.
mercy.
No, not the son. I'm not talking about the son.
No, not the son.
Sutta.
Roma, he was smiling and showing
Yeah,
his
yeah,
teeth.
yeah.
That's why he got mercy.
Yeah, that's why he got he took the kusa grass and then he cut his chopped it. Then, of course, he doesn't have to do any atonement, but the Lord wanted to set an example, so he went parikram, Balaram.
He also asked, should I bring back to life to other Brahmanas? They said no, whatever is done.
Yeah, yeah. So they said you don't have to, but he said no. Then the Brahmana said,
You want to follow
okay.
the rules set by
Yeah,
Krishna.
he said I want to set example, so that's why he did. So that's a different situation altogether. It's due to offences. Yeah.
So now one more thing in this thing. How do we think Pratiloma and Aniloma? Is it the men marrying a lower woman or a woman marrying a higher man? Because it is
Generally,
applicable
it
both
is
ways.
acceptable for a woman to marry a higher
So it goes by the woman.
Yeah.
man. He's higher.
If the man is higher, woman is lower,
It's
then
okay.
it is Aniloma. And then the okay.
I don't know which Loma, but I know it's okay.
It's acceptable.
It's acceptable. Yeah.
But the other way it's not.
But the woman on a higher caste shouldn't marry a lower caste, because the cultural understanding is not there. The man will not be able to guide.
Protect her
And
properly.
protect
Misuse-
accordingly,
misuse
yeah.
will happen.
Yeah.
She'll be superior.
She is superior generally, but if he doesn't know the rules or regulation, then she's actually has to follow him, right?
Yeah.
So then she'll become lower. So that's why it's not acceptable. Yeah. But in Kali Yuga, Kalo Shudra.
Rich girl, poor boy.
Yeah, you can say rich and poor. But in devotional life also you can see, in sometimes you can see that the ladies are more spiritual than the men like that. Yeah. More steady, more fixed, So in that situation, the Guru sometimes tells the men, you should take advice from your wife like that. Yeah. So that will help them in their family situation. Because sometimes the husband is a crazy guy, then he does whatever he wants, then the whole marriage is useless. So then the Gurus can see that, they'll say, no, you always ask, and if she agrees, then do. So some husbands are like, okay, they like that kind of orders, they'll do that. Yeah. Not that they can't protect, but they don't know how to make good decisions. Yeah. So in that situation, yeah, we should take proper advice. Yeah. Okay. Text 27.
Dhinmam vigarhitam shabde dushkritam kulakajjalam hitva balam satim yoha aham surapim asatim magham.
Alas, all condemnation upon me. I acted so sinfully that I degraded my family tradition. Indeed, I gave up my chaste and beautiful young wife to have sexual intercourse with a fallen prostitute accustomed to drinking wine. All condemnation upon me. You know, nowadays the society is such that they expect even the woman to drink. You know, must be drinking, right? I don't know how we
Occasional drinking.
occasional drinking, cocktails. They expect the social drinking. Nonsense, you know. Anyway, in the purport, the whole purport is very nice. Prabhupada says this is the mentality of one who is becoming a pure devotee. He's thinking like that. When one is elevated to the platform of devotion service by the grace of the Lord and the spiritual master, one first regrets his past sinful activities. So, like I said, you should reflect in your heart and regret your past mistakes. This will purify your hearts. This helps one advance in spiritual life. The Vishnu Dutas had given Ajamila the chance to become a pure devotee, and the duty of a pure devotee is to regret his past sinful activities in illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating and gambling. Not only should one give up his past bad habits, but he must always regret his past sinful acts. What did Prabhupada say? Always regret his past sinful acts. This is the standard of pure devotion. Not that, it's done. I'm pure. That means you have a problem. Ego problem.
PDS.
Huh?
They call it PDS.
Yeah.
Pure devotee syndrome.
Pure devotee syndrome. So we have to be very careful. PDS could be pure devotion service.
Service also.
So, but he must always regret his past sinful acts. That means not go around telling people, but he in his heart he should feel, I'm not really that, when you do devotional service nicely and you're helping people, people will come and say you're so great, so wonderful. But you should know where you were at, and then you should reflect and say, I'm not really that great.
That's when we should remind ourselves.
Yeah. You should say, I'm not really that great. Somehow I'm helping, that is okay, but I'm not really great, And then the thanks should go to Krishna, spiritual master, and other devotees who have given you in this position. So that's what Prabhupada wants us to understand and practice. Right? He doesn't have to say you all have to think like that. He just by his purpose, you have to think like that. So it's very important to practice.
Can I bring one anecdote on the drinking one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So there is one Indian doctor in Florida. So one little girl was crying. Girls cry, right? All babies cry. He said, give her some wine so that she will keep quiet.
Calm down.
He wants to start at that age.
There you go. I mean, he doesn't see anything wrong, yeah. Just say, he's a doctor and doesn't know the child can get addicted to alcohol.
But in France, that's a culture. I had
These fellows are Indian and
friend,
American,
she
right?
was from France. Very small kids, they just give them a small glasses of wine.
Wine, yeah.
From 6 months onwards, they start
6
having.
months?
Yeah, very small kids. That's their culture with
tonic.
the food they have.
Yeah, they say it's a tonic.
It's
yeah.
tonic.
They say it's good for heart. Anyway, it's all nonsense.
Grape juice.
Grape juice. Yes,
But
it's
Prabhu,
grape
in that
juice.
case, the cough syrup also is bad to have, right? And
Should
that
not take.
has alcohol.
Should not take alcohol.
Only when you're really sick and the doctor prescribes. Not just go and open and...
There are cases people who have taken those and sometimes they get addicted to those.
Yeah, it's
There
true.
are cases.
Yeah. Lot of young
Yeah, so you should avoid.
students, they buy over the counter
the counter, yeah.
They buy.
Yeah, exactly.
OTC.
They take it like
And then they
small
drink.
bottle.
College days also.
Cough syrup, yeah.
Cough syrup.
Like alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah.
But Prabhu, is that real alcohol that they put
It
in?
is alcohol.
Yeah, it's alcohol. What do you mean real or black?
Alcohol is same.
Alcohol is alcohol. Chemical formula
It's not
OH
Windows
is
Phone,
there.
It's not the Windows Phone.
It's OH is there.
You should take Ramdev
Hydroxyl.
goggles.
That's why they check their age. when they
C2H5OH
get certain,
is there.
Yeah, yeah.
over-the-counter medication.
So what they do is they pay all the street beggars money to go and buy for them, like that. So it's a big headache for these people. What to do?
Also
That's-
meth. People get all this, some drugs also, and then they make drug out of it, right? They cook also.
Oh yeah.
Methamphetamine.
Combination.
Yeah. So now you buy natural cough syrups. There's so many now. Even they know it's not good to sell. Some herbs are stored in alcohol, rice, wine, or whatever they call. But you can put it in water and then let it evaporate, and then you can take the medication from the water like that.
When I took Hari to the doctor, the
Yeah.
doctor said, don't give cough syrup. It has been proven now that it doesn't work anyways. So the doctor itself is saying.
Yeah, in general, they don't really do much. All they do is they help you cough more or suppress the cough. If you have too much coughing, they suppress. If you have too little coughing, they help you
Get it
cough.
out to come
Yeah,
out.
so it eases the irritation. That's all. That's all cough mixtures.
Expectorant is what it takes out.
Yes.
Expectorant takes it out and suppressant it suppresses.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So better use take honey
Actually,
and
that is
ginger.
just a
That's
symptom. The
better.
reason cough body is giving cough means that means it wants to get out.
Get it out. Yeah.
That's a symptom just.
Or you can buy what sitopaladi,
Sitopaladi.
ginger, stuff like that. Yeah.
Madhuvani.
Yeah, haritaki.
There is homeopathic cough syrup also. That's what we give for kids.
Yeah,
General over the
yeah,
counter.
you could do all that.
Tikuranga Prabhu got something from Hyderabad.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Is it? No wonder you're so hyper.
It's made up of cow urine. In Hyderabad
that's-
temple it is available.
Okay. Text 28. Text 28.
वृद्धौ अनाथौ पितरौ नान्यबन्धु तपस्विनौ
नान्यबन्धु तपस्विनौ
अहो मयाधुना त्यक्ता
मायाधुना त्यक्त्वा
अकृतज्ञेन निचावत्
अकृतज्ञेन निचावत्.
My father and mother were old and had no other son or friend to look after them. Because I did not take care of them, they lived with great difficulty. Alas, like an abominable lower class man, I ungratefully left them in that condition. So he could see himself. Text 29.
सोऽहं व्यक्तं पतिष्यामि
श्योकं यज्ञं करिष्यामि
नरके वृषदारुणे
नरके वृषदारुणे
धर्मज्ञाः कामिनो यत्र
धर्मज्ञाना कामिनो यत्र
निन्दन्ति यमयातनः
निन्दन्ति यमयातनः.
It is now clear that as a consequence of such activities, a sinful person like me must be thrown into hellish conditions meant for those who have broken religious principles and must there suffer extreme miseries. So he is regretting. Text 30.
किम्मिदं स्वप्न अहोस्वेत्
किमिदं स्वप्नाभोस्मे
साक्षात् दृष्टम् इहाद्भुतम्
साक्षात् दृष्टम् इहाद्भुतम्
क्व ज्ञाता अद्यते ये माम्
क्व ज्ञाता अद्यते ये माम्
व्यकर्षन् पाशपानयः
विकर्षपाशपाणयः.
Was this a dream I saw, or was it reality? I saw fearsome men with ropes in their hands coming to arrest me and drag me away. Where have they gone? Text 31.
अताते क्व गताः सिद्धाः
नारयगता सिद्धाः
चत्वारश्चारुदर्शनाः
चत्वारश्चारुदर्शनः
व्यामोचयन्नियमानाम्
व्यामोचयन्नियमानाम्
बद्ध्वा पाशैरधोबुवः
बद्ध्वा पाशैरधोबुवः.
And where have those four liberated and very beautiful persons gone who released me from arrest and saved me from being dragged down to the hellish regions? Text 32.
अथापि मे दुर्भागस्य
अथापि मे दुर्भागस्य
विबुद्धोत्तम दर्शने भवितव्यं मंगलेन येनात्मा मे प्रसीदति.
I'm certainly most abominable and unfortunate to have merged in an ocean of sinful activities, but nevertheless, because of my previous spiritual activities, I could see those four exalted personalities who came to rescue me. Now I feel exceedingly happy because of their visit. So just a little association, he's feeling a lot of joy at the same time. So in the paragraph after Sadhu Sangha verse, Prabhupada writes, in the beginning of his life, Ajamila was certainly very pure, and he associated with devotees and brahmanas. Because of that pious activity, even though he was fallen, he was inspired to name his son Narayana. Culture. Inspiration. So it could be Krishna. Certainly this was due to good counsel given from within by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya cha mridi sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apovanam cha. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness. The Lord who is situated in everyone's heart is so kind that if one has ever rendered service to Him, the Lord never forgets him. Thus the Lord from within gave Ajamila the opportunity to name his youngest son Narayana, so that in affection he would constantly call Narayana, Narayana, and thus be saved from the most fearful and dangerous condition at the time of his death. So now all of you go and change your children's name. So you all will be chanting. Such is the mercy of Krishna. Guru Krishna Prasadipaya Bhakti Lata Bija. By the mercy of the Guru and Krishna, one receives the seed of Bhakti. This association saves the devotee from the greatest fear. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we therefore change the devotee's name to a form that reminds him of Vishnu. If at the time of death, the devotee can remember his own name, such as Krishna Das or Govinda Das, he can be saved from the greatest danger. So nice, Prabhupada. Therefore, the change of names at the time of initiation is essential. The Krishna consciousness movement is so meticulous that it gives one a good opportunity to remember Krishna somehow or other.
But women are at disadvantage.
Why?
Our names are...
Radha's name.
Okay.
So you will go to Radha Nani, it's even better, no? So you should think like that, you know. That is why you should know what your name means and which deities are referring to which personalities. So you can meditate like that. Okay, I am the servant of that such a person, like that. Text 33.
अन्यताम्रियमानस्य नाशुचेर्विशलीपतेः वैकुण्ठनामग्रहणम् जिह्वा वक्तुम् इहार्हति.
Were it not for my past devotional service, how could I, the most unclean keeper of a prostitute, have gotten an opportunity to chant the holy name of Vaikuntapati when I was just ready to die? Certainly it could not have been possible. So he accepts that because he did some service, that it has Svalpam abhyasya dharmasya trayato mahato vayat. Text 34.
क्वचाहं कितवः पापो ब्रह्मज्ञो निरपात्रतपः क्वच नारायणेत्येतत् भगवन्नाम मङ्गलम्.
Ajamila continued, I am a shameless cheater who has killed his Brahminical culture. Indeed, I am sin personified. Where am I in comparison to the all-auspicious chanting of the holy name of Lord Narayana?
Amazing realization.
Yeah, because he's purified, he's realizing all this position, you know, he's seeing himself so fallen. I mean, only when you are realized and coming to purity, you will see like that. If you are not, you will think you are better. You know?
Best.
Huh?
Not better, best.
Best, okay, something best. But in general, normal practicing devotee, he's not thinking of the Lord because he's thinking he is the Lord, like that. Right? So, in the purport, Prabhupada says, those engaged in broadcasting the holy name of Narayana Krishna through the Krishna consciousness movement should always consider what our position was before we came and what is now. I mentioned.
Nice instruction.
Yeah. Right? See, we don't read Prabhupada's book, it's most important. So remember this, what our position was before, where we came, what is now.
That is what we are.
We had fallen into abominable lives as meat eaters, drunkards and woman hunters or men hunters who performed all kinds of sinful activities. But now we have been given the opportunity to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Therefore we should always appreciate these opportunities. So now there are so many temples all over the world to give people this good fortune. Okay. So finally he says we must be conscious of the difference between our present and past conditions and should always be very careful not to fall from the most exalted life. So he's saying, Prabhupada is saying he has put us on a higher platform.
At least maintain there.
Yeah, so don't fall down.
Stay there.
Stay there or move on.
Move on.
Somehow
Don't come down.
Somehow or other stay this.
Yeah, somehow or other stay there or move on. Yeah. So conscious of the difference between our present and past is so important, right? So if you can think like that, then you will always be compassionate. When you see others who are struggling, it's easy for us to judge people. But the best way to judge is to always judge yourself. Where I was, now I was like that also. That's how you should think. So let's see how to help this person. Not like, this guy useless, that guy useless. Oh, this guy is good, let me go and preach. Like that. You try and see, whoever is favorable, you give more association. Whoever is not favorable, you can say Hare Krishna, give them prasad and move on, Right? So we'll continue tomorrow from 35. Prabhupada ki jai.